Chapter 6, Spick and Span. Be still, said Jack. Oh, remember in Chapter 5, they were going to the pond because they were all muddy and they were going to clean off in the pond. And then something very big was coming out of the trees. So be still, said Jack. Jack and Annie stood frozen as an elephant stepped out of the shadows. It waded into the pond and dipped its trunk into the water. Oh, wow, said Annie. Jack breathed a sigh of relief. An elephant wasn't going to chase them and eat them. Still, the elephant was huge. Let's sneak away, said Jack. But I want to watch, said Annie. Fine, said Jack. He was tired of Annie getting sidetracked. I'm going to solve the riddle by myself. I'll meet you back at the treehouse. He turned to go. A spray of water rained down on him. It came from behind. He shouted with surprise and looked back. The elephant's trunk was pointed straight at Annie. Cool, she cried. He's giving me a shower. Why does she call that a shower? Because it's not really a shower, right? There's no bathtub or shower head. So why does she call that a shower? The elephant sprayed her again, then again. The mud slowly rolled off her face, her braids, her t-shirt, her shorts, her legs, and her sneakers. I guess the elephant doesn't like dirty kids, said Annie. Her eyes were squeezed shut. Finally, she was clean and soaking wet. Now it's your turn, she said to Jack. Jack stepped forward and shut his eyes tight. A blast of water hit him. It did feel like a shower, a strong shower. When Jack was clean, the elephant let out a grunt. Then he started to splash himself with water. Thanks, said Annie. Yeah, thanks, said Jack. I'm spick and span now, said Annie. What does that mean? I'm spick and span now. Let's look at what happened. So she was dirty, and then the elephant cleaned her off. I am spick and span now. I think it means she's all clean. What do you think? When the sun dries me off, I'll be like new. Good, said Jack. Now we can get serious. He picked up his heavy pack. We have to figure out the answer to the riddle so we can leave this place before we run into real trouble. He looked around nervously. Where are the lions? He wondered. A small bird flitted near his head. Hi, Annie said to the bird. Jack turned back to her. According to the riddle, we're looking for something gold and sweet. What do you want? Annie asked the bird. The bird twittered and flew around Jack and Annie. Its feathers were dull gray, but it had a bright, happy manner. Annie, listen to me, not the bird, said Jack. The bird kept fluttering around them. She's trying to tell us something, said Annie. Jack let out a long sigh. You are driving me crazy today, he said. But I feel like she needs our help, said Annie. Maybe her babies fell out of the nest. Annie, you can't save every animal in Africa, said Jack. This bird is important, said Annie. Trust me. The bird darted towards the trees. It landed on a branch and cocked its head at them. She says, follow, said Annie. The bird headed into the forest. Annie started after it. Don't go in there, said Jack. You might run into... There was no need to finish. The bird and Annie had disappeared into the trees. "A snake or a lion," said Jack to himself. "Come on," Annie called. Jack moaned. Ugh. He pulled on his pack and ran. The peanut butter jar thumped against his back. So they keep talking about the riddle. If you don't remember the riddle, let's go back and read what the riddle is. "I'm the color of gold and as sweet as can be, but beware of the danger that's all around me. What am I?" So Jack was right. It might be something gold, sweet. There's danger around it. Do you think the bird's going to lead them to what the riddle is? I don't know. It kind of reminds me of another story that we read about a bird, and it led a rabbit to something sweet. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. Chapter 7 is called Hi There.